Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. V, CEO and Chief NP Coach here at the Clinician Life. In today's video, we're going to be talking about things I wish I knew before going to NP school. I think this is a really important video because I really didn't know any nurse practitioners personally that I could ask questions to before deciding if the NP degree was worth it for me. And I think that sharing what I wish I knew can be really beneficial for you so that you can make informed decisions for your career. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I wish I knew was how to pick the right nurse practitioner school. I think that there are a lot of options when it comes to nurse practitioner schools, and not knowing which one to choose can be really overwhelming. I'm going to actually do a whole nother video on how to pick the right NP school. However, I will say that it is going to be important for you to find a school where you can get the best bang for your buck. Remember that grad school is expensive, and it's an investment that only you can make for yourself. It is going to cost you lots of money, energy, and time, and it's also going to cost you peace of mind if you don't do your research correctly. Many schools now are requiring you to find your own preceptors, and this can be a huge challenge for students if you don't have a strong network of reliable clinicians that are willing to step up and precept you. You also want to consider where the school is and if you will be attending online or at a brick and mortar. Some people may also make choices based off of taking the GRE or going to school where it's not required, right? Where the GRE is not required. But honestly, in my opinion, your school choice should not be based on a test that you don't want to study for, but rather a school that supports your goals. The second thing I wish I knew was how to apply for scholarships early on. There are many scholarships out there, especially for minorities or women, right? And women. And it's 100% worth the time and hassle to save you tons of money in student debt and peace of mind later on when starting your career. There are many sites you can search on to see what scholarships are available. I actually knew a girl in my DNP program who was awarded $25,000 for a veteran scholarship. She wasn't even a veteran. However, she wrote a killer essay and wrote about her future goals to care for veteran patients. It takes a lot of time and organization to apply for scholarships. However, there are many out there that you qualify for and could win if you just invested a little bit of time and effort. I actually won a scholarship in my last semester of DNP school after hearing about the girl who won $25,000 scholarship. I ended up winning the scholarship and kicking myself because I wish I would have done it sooner. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Apply for scholarships. All right. The third thing I wish I knew was how to choose between the MSN or the DNP. When I was looking at nurse practitioner schools, I had the DNP in the back of my head as the end goal, but I wasn't sure if I was ready for it out the gate. So I did a lot of research on schools that offered the BS to MSN and the BS to DNP and the timeline it would take to complete each. I personally chose the BS to DNP because the school I went to had a dual concentration in adult gerontology, primary care, and oncology nurse practitioner. However, I know plenty of nurse practitioners who got their MSN first and decided to get their DNP later. There are some advantages to this approach. I think the biggest advantage is getting career experience first and having that clinical component down before entering into the leadership mindset. In the DNP school, they teach you how to refine your leadership skills and how to translate evidence or research into practice. Although these skills are used your first day on the job, I do think there's a benefit to having NP experience going into DNP school with a plan of what you want to do with your DNP. For me, I didn't really know what I was getting into until I actually immersed into the program. I ultimately loved what I got out of DNP school. However, it took me some time to figure it out. So when deciding which one is right for you, do some research on the school and the program to ensure that you're getting the return on your investment. Before I move on, I just want to ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We put a lot of work into these videos every week, and I want to make sure that these videos are helpful and resourceful for up-and-coming nurse practitioners. It would really mean the world to me if you showed your support with a like and subscribe, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on. Number 4. The fourth thing I wish I would have known before going to nurse practitioner school was when and how to network. I think networking is such a huge component of getting a job as a nurse practitioner that I wish someone would have told me that and how important it was before starting school. So I would recommend that you begin your networking early on in your educational journey. This means making friends with students, faculty, and preceptors. I also recommend showing up in clinicals prepared and as if it were a semester-long interview. You never know who is watching, and you never know who will recommend you. You might think that the current clinic you are precepting in isn't hiring. However, the providers or staff there might know somebody that is. It's all about developing relationships with those around you so that you can reach back around when the time is right. I developed relationships with faculty who were in the prime position to help me. I had one of my faculty advisors reach out to me to see if I was interested in a position with an oncologist who was a longtime colleague of hers who was looking for an outstanding NP. And she told me she thought of me first. Is it because I was better than the rest of the students? Heck no. I just developed a great relationship with her, and she trusted my ability to do a good job. So she reached out to me first. You just never know where your career will lead you, so building relationships and networks will be one of the best skills that you have that will serve you time and time again throughout your career. Trust me on this one. And finally, the fifth thing I wish I would have known before going to NP school is to trust myself. I went into NP school full of worry and doubt. I had a young family, and I was worried that I was going to miss so much. I was worried about not being smart enough. I was worried about timing. I was worried about what would happen if I failed. What would happen if I didn't find a job? I think that we all go through this at some point or another throughout our journey, but I honestly wish I would have just trusted in my abilities. Of course, getting an advanced degree can be stressful when trying to combine that with a job and family commitments. However, if this is you, remember that you are capable of graduating from nursing school. You are capable of passing your NCLEX, becoming a novice nurse, and then an expert nurse. And you can do this, right? Nothing they teach in NP school is rocket science. It just takes a lot of investment on your part to get the most out of it without the worry. Trust yourself and your abilities to figure it out. All right, guys, that does it for this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.